Good morning, welcome. So this is day 80, actually day 84 of our 35-day Detox Fitness Challenge. We're building up to do 100 push-ups and we've given ourselves 100 days. So almost there in terms of completing the challenge. Possibly not almost there in terms of actually doing the push-ups. The last couple of weeks have been pretty crazy, and I think I knew that was going to be the case and that we were coming to the end of the astrological year. We had Pluto moving signs, Saturn moving signs, so there's a lot of astrological changes taking place. And as I pretty sure I reflected in my last video, I know that March is always a particularly tough time of the year for me, and there was changes going on within my personal life as well as the business, which all culminated in pushing this challenge back down the priorities, and the weather got a bit colder. They're all excuses here, they all come out. There's always excuses, and so I just didn't feel motivated to test myself. That didn't mean that I wasn't continuing to build up my strength. I was certainly looking for opportunities in all manner of speaking, including lifting things and moving them around. A lot of painting work going on, so a lot of physical activity, a lot of work in the studio, which included the plank challenge, and yeah, so as I say, not so much that I wasn't focused, it's not the right word, I wasn't focused, but I was still mindful of the fact that the challenge was undergoing. And that brought me to Saturday morning, where I realized that when one of my clients actually cancelled, that I had a window of opportunity, and I really need to make an effort to go down and record and see where I was, because I had no idea. I didn't know how far I'd gone backwards. I didn't know whether I'd gone forwards. It was a question of actually checking in and doing that benchmark test yet again. We need to check in. We can't avoid checking in, even though maybe the results may not be what we want them to be. But it was more about just showing up than anything else. So that's what I did. As you can see, I started off with a hiss and a roar, and I was still able to do I think it was 11 or 12 to begin with, but I was not able to sustain the pyramid structure that I usually do. And so what I had to do was I had to step away and determine whether I was going to continue or whether I was going to quit. It would have been really, really easy to just say, yeah, I could only do 30 or whatever it was under my normal structure. But when I was able to step away, take a few breaths, I found that I could do 5 at a time. And, one step at a time is the way to make progress. So my 1 step at a time became 5 push-ups at a time. And I lost count. I didn't even try to count, because I gave up on the goal, and I just stepped away. And whilst I could still do 5 at a time, I kept coming back to the log and doing 5, walking away, patting the dog, getting some inspiration or motivation from him, and then going back until I finally got to the point where on the last one that I did here, I was only able to do 3, and so I thought that's time to call it quits. I didn't walk away disappointed with myself. In fact, I actually walked away from the experience feeling proud of myself, because I didn't quit. I didn't buy into the story of whether it was good or bad. I just did what I could, and that definitely flowed on to the rest of the day. Although I did notice that I was a little bit sore the following morning with my shoulders, but I was able to give myself a pat on the back and recognize that I was still showing up, still, as I say, putting one foot in front of the other. as I played back the video, I was able to count through, and I surprised myself that I'd done 74, which was a record for me on the log. It's not when I go onto the wall. That record on the wall is still 91, but on the log it was 74, and it was with all the breaks in between, it was still less than 10 minutes of my life. So I was, as I say, pretty proud with where I was, and it's given me the impetus to complete the journey with 15 days, which I calculate will take us to around about April 9th. And so much as I would like to just sort of scoot it out by the end of March and be done with this, I don't think that's the case. I will continue through, and I will finish what I started. This neatly, I don't guess, reflects what happens with the 35-day detox challenge as well, in that not often, in fact every time, 100%, we all hit a point, a wall, where we have to go beyond our comfort zone. If we want to make changes, if we want to be a different person, then we have to do things differently, and that includes when things look like it's time to quit, taking the decision not to quit, to maybe take a step back or maybe take a break, but not to quit on the process. And that is what creates the deep-seated change that is available to us all. On the back of the change that I think I went through on Saturday when I did do this, I have re-looked at my beginner yoga program and continuing to teach that, and I think what I will do is bring that to the studio as well as online, and then alongside that I will start to do the intermediate course. And when I think back to before Christmas, that was in my mind that that would be the next stage, but I knew that I needed to be fitter to do it, and this push-up challenge has actually created the physical changes that I need to be able to do that next stage of the yoga program. So even though it wasn't the conscious intention, it's definitely become one of the results of what we're doing. The program, the yoga that I'm just going to show at the end of this video, is just a small snippet of that one, of what I did the following morning. I don't know, I think I feel like it's a different vibe, and it's bringing in some different poses that I haven't done for quite some time, reflecting, I think, the changes that are taking place physically, mentally, and emotionally, that's allowing me to go back into those spaces. And I hope you enjoy. I hope your journey is also progressing in the way that it needs to unfold for you. As I said right at the beginning, and I continue to say, this is not a competition. It's not even a competition with myself or with anybody else. It is just a personal journey. Thanks for listening, and thanks for watching, and if you feel like subscribing, I really appreciate that. It's definitely motivating me to show up online as well. Thank you. Namaste.